Hello everyone and welcome to your second Zbrush for Architecture Concepts tutorial. In this tutorial I decided to make a review for the interface and talk more about the brushes. So let's start. When you first open Zbrush you get this interface. I'm going to be a little bit faster when I do this review because what I really care about is like you have to be more comfortable with the program and not feel too overwhelmed. And I'm also still using my mouse because I want to hold myself back from being too fast when I'm explaining. But I still recommend having your Wacom tablet or, this pen and tablet instead of a mouse to make things easier. So the first thing that you see when you open ZBrush is this big lightbox menu. So close the lightbox. Like last time, I just want to explain, we have here the menu bar and it's alphabetically organized. Here we have the brush dynamics and we have the scale. Here we have, the brushes, the strokes, the alphas. We have here where you're just, your navigation and other things. So the first thing you're going to do is this. And I also had installed this program so you can see exactly what I'm clicking, like Ctrl-Shift-Alt, just in case last time it wasn't very clear what I'm saying. So the first thing you're going to do is realize this is not working. You do Ctrl-N to make a new window. Now the first thing you do is you go to Document and you click New Document. You make sure the W size is clicked, which is Auto Fit Window Size. Click New Document, say No. And also here, the range, you make it 0 because I don't like the gradient. I hate it. So this is like, I would say, the perfect setup to start with your ZBrush project. If you click, you're going to notice we're still not doing any 3D. Click Ctrl and again to make a new clean workspace. Now to put an object, you click here on the tool, which is a big S for Simple Brush. You click it, you choose which one you want. I actually explained the Arabic version before this one, so I'm just going to try to stay as fair, I would say, as possible. Like, I worry sometimes that I mention things in the Arabic version and not in the English, or in the English version and not in the Arabic, so that's why I have notes, and hopefully I will keep them consistent because I don't want to do any dubbing, I guess, or any subtitles. I want to explain it as it is. So for the Arabic version, we use the helix, so I'm just going to go with that. If you click and drag, you can have a shape. And you can't do much with the shape, so if you click and drag again, you're just going to realize you're doing more shapes, and it's not what you want. You actually want to work on the shape. So you click Ctrl-N again to make an empty space. Click and drag, and you have the shape again. Don't click anything. Stop. What you want to do is go all over here and click Edit. Now you know you're in 3D mode because when you click anywhere away from the object and you drag, you can see that you can rotate. You can also see this head, which you can do the rotation from. There's a gizmo here. So then you know you're basically in the right place. Before you even do anything with this, you have to turn it into a polymesh 3D. So just click Make Polymesh 3D. Now when you use your brushes, you can work in it. The next thing you're going to do, if you want to zoom all, like you want to zoom the entire thing, you can either press F, and this will zoom all, or you can use this one, which is Fit Mesh to View. You can frame it. So if you want to zoom in and out, so the trick is you click Alt, you click your mouse, and then you let go of Alt, and then you drag. This is how you zoom in and out. So if you want to just rotate around it, you just click and drag your mouse. If you want to zoom in and out, you click Alt. Okay, let's do this slowly. Alt, click with your mouse. You're pressing both now at the same time. Now release Alt, but keep on dragging. So release Alt and move your mouse. This is the zoom in and out. Now this might take a while because it's very tricky. They have their own system in ZBrush anyway, so you just have to get used to it. trust me, like once you get used to it, it's not a big deal anymore. So if you want to pan, you just click Alt and you don't let go, you leave it. Click both the Alt and the drag, and this is how you do panning left and right. And I feel like you're in a hurry and you just cannot get a hold of it, you can find it here. So we have the zoom in 3D from here, we have the rotate here, and panning is here. Okay, so perfect. Next thing you want to do is you want to fix the resolution or the number of active points in your shape. Why? Because let's say you're using a brush, the standard brush, and then you draw and you're like, it's so like it's so pixelated, you don't like it, you want it smoother. So the trick is you just go over here to geometry, go all the way to divide, and notice when you click divide, it gives you more active points. So like if you just lower the division, it's 2000, click higher, 8000, divide more, you get more points, divide more, you get more points, and it's smoother. Now to save on space, you just click delete lower and say that this is exactly how much active points I want. Perfect, I'm gonna work with this. And what else can you explain? So when you click the brush, now the brush, the hotkey for the brush is the letter B. And click B, you get brush. So let's say you want the standard, so you do B and then you write S, and then you get every single brush that starts with the letter S. So BSU is standard for me. I don't know if it's T for other people, but BSU is standard. So today, that was the quick review. And today we're going to talk more about the brush. Now, when you draw with the brush, you can see that you can, move, you can draw on the brush directly. And, oh, right, I forgot to mention, if you want to move in or like you want to use the gizmo, if you click W, then you get the entire gizmo tool. You can, scale it, you can rotate it, you can move it. So yeah. Okay, this was part of the review that I forgot. So if you want to get rid of the gizmo, you just click Q. Q is for drawing, W is for, the moving, rotation, stuff like that. So Q is drawing, which is where you get the brush. And I would suggest you change the material because now we're going to learn a few things about the stroke and the alphas. So we're just going to use any other material, doesn't matter. Now, if you don't have this material, I'm not sure which materials are the standard and which are not, because I downloaded a few. But just choose any material where you can see a little bit clearly what we're doing. So honestly, when I worked with the Arabic version, it was a bit tricky to work with the helix, although it was more fun. But I'm going to try working with the helix for now. If it doesn't work, we'll just go to the sphere. Anyway, so with the strokes and the alphas, now this one determines how you're drawing on the shape. So when it says dots, it's just like it's drawing dots that are very close to each other when you're, working with the sculpture. Let's say if you do a spray, then, okay, great. You can also change the size of your mouse here. Let's make it smaller. So now you can see the spray effect better. To change the size of the mouse, you can either use the brackets, which is this one, to make it smaller or bigger, exactly like Photoshop. So I'm just clicking the brackets. You can also click space, and the space bar you get this menu, and you can just change the draw size here. So both ways work. So this is more like a hotkey where there's these quick tools you can select. So there's that. So when we chose spray, now when we're doing the stroke, you can see like, okay, let's make it smaller. As you can see, there's like, it's a different, effect when it comes to the stroke. So dragging, it will be like 1 point. Let me choose another material. It's not very clear. Okay. 1 second. Okay, it's fine. Let's just choose this one. Okay. So other than that, this is just how you use the brush, basically, or how what kind of brush are you using, like what kind of stroke you're using with your brush. Usually I leave it at dots, honestly, if you like. And it depends what you want to do, but dots is, the standard, which is fine. Now the fun part is the alpha. If you click alpha, this is like a black and white kind of stamp, I would say, on your brush. So let's say you choose this one. When you start, working on it, you can see that you get a different effect with the alpha. So basically it's like the brush itself has a different shape. So let's say you did the spray. So you chose spray from the strokes and you chose this alpha. Now when you do it, you can see it's a different effect. Honestly, I think we should go with the sphere. This is not working properly. It doesn't look as neat as it should. So we're just gonna get another sphere or another shape. So click on tool and let's get a sphere. Okay, so the first thing with Sphere 3D, first thing we have to do is change it or make it polymesh so we can work on it. So make polymesh 3D, click it. When you're done, the active points are really a bit not high res, so we're just going to divide it. We'll make it 500,000 so we can see the effect better. Delete lower to, keep it steady. Anyways, so there's this. Okay, so if we make this bigger, you can see the effect better. This is what I mean. So because it's spray, we get like multiple alphas at the same time, like that. So let's say we kept it at dots. When I draw it, it gives me this effect. Okay? Same thing if you do the drag rectangle. So you click it, you just get one stamp. So these are like some things I would, play with or mess around with. So let's say you want this alpha, get this effect. With this spray maybe, so you get this effect. 1 dots, you get this effect. So my suggestion would be to stay at the standard brush and then just try every alpha you see, like if you like it, see how it looks, and try to like have fun with it. So there's so many things you can do with just simple alphas and strokes. So this is something really cool with the brush. I mean, stay with the standard for now before you start messing around with the other guys. And yeah, just have fun with it. So we explained that one. The intensity. So basically the intensity of the brush is just how strong the brush is. Let's say this is the intensity. As you can see, like when I'm working with it, it's more intense. Okay, let's get another sphere. Another sphere. So again, like last time, make polymesh 3D, divide, delete lower, and then we'll work again. So with the intensity, let's see, when the intensity is lower, let's say we're using, let's choose an alpha, so maybe you can see it better. So let's say I draw it with this intensity. So the intensity here is 9. If I raise up the intensity, let's say make it 34, you see how intense the effect is when you're drawing the brush. This goes for like, if you're just a normal brush. So this one with the intensity of 34, if I make it lower so you can see it's a smoother effect. So this is basically what intensity means, like how strong you want the effect to be. Another brush I want to explain is called the smooth brush. So if you click shift and you start drawing on it, then you see that it actually smoothes out all the surfaces, which is really beneficial. Like if you're interested in, let's say we get something like this. Polish, no, I'm gonna polish. Let's say trim adaptive. Let's say you did something like this and you just want to smooth out the surface, make it more smooth. Okay, let's not ruin the surface that much. If you just click shift, it automatically gives you a new, just by clicking shift, like I didn't even have to choose a brush. Click shift, it gives you the smooth brush, and you can just smooth out your surfaces like that. It's a really cool brush. Okay, so that's all it is. Let me see. Let's do the move brush. So if you just get the B, get the entire brush collection, basically S for standard, and then just choose standard or spiral. You know what? Let's go spiral. It's my favorite. So there's that. And like last time, if you click Alt, then it does the opposite of what the basic tool does. So just like this, and then Alt goes the other way. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Smooth, alpha size, intensity. Okay. The next thing I want to explain is symmetry. And I feel like I'm getting a new sphere every time. Okay, never mind. Sphere and make polymesh 3D. Divide the geometry a few times. I like it at 500,000. Decolor. The thing is, I know you're probably wondering why we're doing this same movement every single time. I feel like when it comes to ZBrush, if you have a system of how to work with things, it won't feel very, like, I feel like I gave you guys like the easiest approach to ZBrush, because usually when you're working with ZBrush, these are the problems that happen. The first problem you get is you cannot work on the shape. The second problem you have is the active points are just too small, too pixelated. So with these steps, 1, 2, 3, getting an object, making it polymesh, and then dividing it, this was the perfect approach to start working with a good shape. I mean, that would be my suggestion, to be honest, because I feel like these were the problems that I had when I was trying to learn, and I just found the solution, and I'm just like, this is the solution, you guys, don't waste your time. I'm telling you, this is how to do it if you want to do it my way. Okay, so next thing we're going to learn is symmetry. So if you go to transform, you have this activate symmetry. Now the hotkey is the letter X. If you just click X, then you have symmetry, and you know you have symmetry because you suddenly have 2 dots. So when you're drawing, you can see that we have 2 dots. Let me just change it to standard. So now whatever we're drawing, like on the x-axis, it goes like on both axes. Now there's a trick for this. If you go to where we transform, see this button here? It's like a circle with an arrow. If you click it, it will push the tools basically to the side, so you can see it better. So now we have activate symmetry on. Click it, it's off. Thing is, you can do more than, let me just increase intensity. Let's choose another brush for fun. Let's go with move. Okay. I'll make the brush bigger, so you can see how we can work with more than one point at the same time with these brushes. Let's try actually doing the standard. You know what? Let's do standard, and let's do an alpha. Why not? Let's make it smaller. So as you can see, we can do a lot of cool things at the same time with the symmetry, and it looks very interesting. I know that the jewelry designers, they use this a lot, the symmetry, and especially it's one of my favorite things actually in ZBrush. So just undo. That's something called radial symmetry. Now see this little R that's here, just click it, and it just says radial count. Now, if you have like the X, then you just get like this. Wait, let's just go back to I don't know, spiral maybe. See what you can do just with the radial, and it's on the x-axis. If you can do it also xy, so if you click xy, you get more points you can play with. That's really cool. Let's say you want x and y, then you get like multiple points that you can work with. And you can get really cool shapes with this, by the way. It's really fun. Let's say we do the move. Basically, you can work with, you know, come up with a lot of nice, interesting shapes very easily just by using the radial. I think this is a really cool feature they have on Zbrush. So you can like come up with really nice shapes easily. You can also change how many radial counts you want. So let's say I want 24 on the x-axis. Then you get 24 on the x-axis. I want I don't know, 29 on the y. So yeah, something like that. You just play around and you get really cool shapes. So I really suggest, you know, coming up with cool shapes. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the radial and the symmetry. It's a little bit too creative, I would say. Okay. Anyways, the next thing we want to explain is the lazy mouse. So if you want to get rid of this and you're like, oh my god, there's too many things happening here, just click this one and then just sends it back to wherever it came from. Okay? Symmetry, we have the radial. The next thing we want to learn is stroke. So with stroke, I'm just going to push it here. There's something called lazy mouse, and lazy mouse is basically, whoops, the radial is still on. Let me just close it. I don't want symmetry. The lazy mouse is just the delay. So when I'm, let's go with the standard brush. When I'm drawing, you can see there's this really small red line that's following my brush. And this one, you can use it because it gives you more accuracy. So like you have more accurate points when you're using a mouse with a delay. If you want this to have like a longer line or like more delay, just change the radius here, and you can see when I'm drawing, the line is a bit further. That means I get a more accurate, you know, I can draw more accurately. I like to keep that one, to be honest, and I like having the lazy mouse on. If you don't have it on, let's say close it, then it you know, it's exactly where your brush is. It gives you the point. It's a preference, honestly. Like, doesn't matter if you want it or not, but it's just the feature that a lot of people use if they want to have more accuracy when they're doing their designs. Okay, so I think this is everything I know about brushes in Zbrush. Let me just put this back. And I'm going to show you now how to add more shapes. Like, let's say I have a sphere, but I want to also add a helix. But every time I click a helix, the sphere disappears. I'm like, okay, but I want the sphere also. And you're like, okay, give me back my sphere. And then you also, even everything you do is here, but then how can I work with the sphere and then cube and whatever at the same time? In ZBrush, there's something called, let's go back to, let's say, helix. There's something called the subtools. If you see this one here, the subtool, when you click it, you can have, it has like it's almost like Photoshop with layers, but these layers are more like objects. So let's say I want to add more objects here with my helix. It's really easy. See this here? It says append. If you just click append, then you get the same menu. But now when I click it, I have it in the same window. So what you can do is you can just hide it. So if you click the eye, you can hide it. But you can also show it even when the eye is closed. If you see only, you notice there's this it's a bit darker in the box. You can see there's a very faint line. It's darker, that means you selected it. So when you select it, there's like this darker shade of gray. I don't know why it's like that, but that's how you know. And also it's more highlighted when you choose it. Now you can't see properly, so we can just make it smaller. Click W. Let's make the sphere smaller, maybe move it a bit away. So now I can explain better, honestly. When you click this, you can see it's highlighted. When you click this, this is highlighted. If you want to hide it, you can just, close the eye. But you can also close both. But when you click it, it just highlights it anyway. So let's say I want some more. I can just click append and choose, let's say, a star. Click W. Let's move the star a bit. Whoops. Oops. The star. Okay, so I click the star. There you go. Let's say I want to add append cylinder. Click your cylinder and there. Perfect. So this is how you add multiple shapes in your when in the same ZBrush project. The other thing we need to know is that you can merge shapes. So let's say I want the star and the cylinder to be the same, same layer, I would say, whatever. There's this thing called merge. Go down a bit, there's merge. There's two ways actually. So let's say I want the cylinder and the star. Let's say the star was like a bit further. What you have to do is to just move it, you can just drag it and then move it up and down. Then you can just say which one goes above which one. So you can just drag the star down. And then if you click the star, you see that you can see merge down. Now merge down, when you click it, okay, then you can see the star and the, so let's suppose this, hello. The star and the cylinder in the same layer. But the thing with the merge down is just it takes exactly just one layer under it. So let's say there's more than one layer. So like here, if I say merge down, it doesn't merge everything down. It just merged exactly what's underneath it. So let's say these two will be merged together. Just click this one, go to merge. Where did the merge go? Oh, sorry. You kind of have to open it. So click it. Where did the merge go? Hello? I'm confused. Did I click something by mistake? That's weird. I don't know why I cannot merge down. I mean, these two you can merge, but this guy no. Oh, why? Okay, I just literally just flipped it. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, so if you want the sphere and the helix to merge together, now if you just click merge down, hit OK. Please select the polymesh. This is not the polymesh. Hello? Okay. What am I doing? I have no idea what's happening. Okay. What happened? I think because I clicked something here. Anyway, let's just append more stuff. Append gear, append this one. Okay. And we're just gonna move it. So I want to go top view. Now there's another way actually. If you just hit Alt and click the object, then you can just automatically select it. So let's say I want this, but I don't want to choose it from here. Just hit Alt and click it. And then you can select it easily. So Alt, click, you can select it easily. Okay, so let's merge this one and the donut shape ring under it. Let's click it, hit merge down, sorry. And then hit OK. Then you have them both together, as you can see. Now the other way, because I mentioned there's two ways, the other way is called merge visible. Now merge visible, once you click it, it will merge all of them and it will give you an entire polymesh. So like here. Now when you click this is the entire merged shapes. It gives you like an entire shape with all of the visible shapes that we had before. Like the entire tool shapes is just in one. So this is merge visible. Okay, so it merges everything and then just says this is a new tool shape you can use. So if you want to split, the thing is really easy to split as long as your objects are not touching. So let's say if these two were touching, when you split it, it's just not going to work. But if all of them are like individually alone and they're not touching in any edges, you can just go down, hit split, and just write split to parts. Hit OK. And you can see all of them are just, as long as they're not touching, you're fine. So let's say they are touching. You know what? Let me just show you that it's not going to work. Ooh. Okay, something like this. Oh no, you know what? Because what am I clicking? Okay. So let's say this one is stuck with the sphere. They're together. Okay. So you just click it, go to merge, merge down, hit OK. So these two are stuck. Okay. If I want to split these, let's say I want to split two parts, I don't think it's going to work. It worked? No way. It did. Huh. Okay, guys, I was completely wrong. I honestly thought, I think because they're full shapes. Let's say like you want to split, but that's masked. You know what? I was wrong. Forget everything I said. You can, as long as they're full shapes, even if they're touching the edges, you can split them. Okay, I was wrong. My bad. I forget. So yeah, you can split full shapes, I guess. The thing is, I feel like what I meant is, or what I want, or what I thought I wanted to say is that if they're like completely, melted into each other and you want to split them, then it's not going to work. So you cannot split like this part only. I'm explaining this. You know what? Forget it. Never mind. That's how you split and merge. Let's just go and move on. The last thing I wanted to mention is the how to import. Like let's say you have an object and you want to import it inside. You want to put it inside your project in Zbrush. So just click Q. It's really easy. See this button here that says import? Click that. And I have this object for the Milan Expo. I'm just going to click it, hit open. Now, I want you guys to notice one thing. So let's say I clicked on this ring shape. I hit import and I say I want this one. And I click open, or you import the data, you're going to notice something. The thing you're going to notice is that the ring or the donut disappeared and it was completely replaced by your object. So you have to be very careful when you're importing objects because whatever you import will replace whatever object you had selected. So the trick for that, usually what they do is you just get it and you duplicate it. So you have two copies of, let's say, the ring. And because there's one useless ring, you're like, okay, then when I do the import now, it will just replace the ring and I just have both of them existing. So like my suggestion would be to just duplicate whatever shape you have and then import, so you can have both shapes inside, and like one of them will be replaced. So like that. So see now, but the extra ring was replaced and the old ring is still there. Now the cool thing about importing, now this is exactly like any tool in in ZBrush. You can work with it. So let's say I have the move tool. I can work with these objects like any shape I have. So let's say I make it bigger. If I do it, oops, okay, see? You can just work with it. So this is really cool. How you can, import any project you have ready that you made in like 3D Max or in AutoCAD or whatever, and then just import it to ZBrush, and then you can do any shape you like easily. So that's a really cool thing you can do. And I feel like this is basically what I'm trying to say about, working with architecture concepts. You can just have any project you have in architecture and then just import it here and, play around and make new concepts. And yeah, when you're done, you can just export it. And that's it. Okay, let me just double check on my notes. Radial I explained, alphas I explained, subtools, import, split, smooth. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I hope you guys learned a bit more about ZBrush and how cool it is to, try to integrate it into your workflow with architectural concepts. I hope you guys find these useful, and hopefully I'll see you next time.